The Saiyan Day Dokkan Now has been announced, but when is it dropping in your local time zone? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the upcoming Dokkan Now Volume 8 announced for March 14th. In this video, we'll be talking about what we can expect from this Dokkan Now, as well as when it should be dropping in your local time zone, so you can be ready to check it out when it drops. So let's go ahead, let's hop on in and let's take a look. So on Twitter and on the in-game news, we have the announcement for the Dokkan Now Volume 8. This is pretty in line with what we would expect to see for how Global handles the Saiyan Day celebration. They will almost always do a Dokkan Now a couple days beforehand. Last year it was on the 15th, and this year it's about a day early on the 14th. Now, we may get some hints on the JP side of Twitter between now and then, maybe hints leading up to what the unit could be, but guarantee, based on last year's trend, that we should be seeing the unit reveals during this Dokkan Now on the 14th. And we know this because we can take a look at last year's Dokkan Now, the Dokkan Now Volume 7. In the Dokkan Now Volume 7, we got an announcement for the upcoming EZA for that celebration, which was the EZA STR Beerus and Whis. We also got the animations here for the God Goku that released as last year's Saiyan Day unit, as well as his card art. And let's see if we can get it up here. We also got his kit details as well. Yeah, right here. We got his kit details as well in this. So we already know that that's what we can expect. We will get whatever the new unit is, as well as the possibility of an EZA. Now, whether or not we get a Dokkan Fest EZA announcement in this remains to be seen, but I can tell you a few things that I know for sure we'll get besides the unit. So, based on the in-game news from earlier this week, the update version 5.18, guarantee that this will have an explanation of the Super Extreme Z Awakening in it, as during JP's little producer letter that they released earlier this week, they actually went over all of this. So Global hasn't yet got this official announcement of how Super EZA works, so likely scenario is that during this Dokkan Now they'll be going over it, as well as probably giving us the kit details for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Super EZA. So they'll go over how to awaken him, how that's going to work, how the event's going to work, and the like, as well as the new units. Now, when we look at the specific info here in the in-game news, it says check out the Saiyan Day campaign for a special update, and a special event that comes with rewards will also be available. Now, a lot of people are latching onto this, thinking there may be some kind of new event, but I think the likely scenario is they are just referring to this Super EZA, right? They're just referring to the event that unlocks the Super EZA. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I would like to see a few different things. Some likely scenarios I think we could see out of that are possibility of a new red zone, right? Movie Bosses ended up getting a new red zone, a red zone 2 that kind of covered all the units that weren't covered by that. So we could see that done with another red zone stage, right? Like if the theme ends up being GT for some reason, like if it's a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta like people are thinking, then maybe we could get a redo of the GT Bosses red zone. I think that's unlikely. There's not really a whole lot extra they can do. The only reason Movie Bosses worked is because there were bosses that were still not covered. However, if it is the Super Saiyan 3 route, we could get something a little more interesting, which could be a cross between Super and Extreme bosses, right? Or maybe it's its own thing, right? It could be more akin to the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will stage, where it alternates between Super and Extreme. But if it's a Super Saiyan 3 boss, or a Super Saiyan 3 Dokkan Fest character, like some people are thinking, since the Super Saiyan 3 EZA is coming, we could see a crossover red zone, right? And in this case, we could have bosses like Hachiak, we could have bosses, right? It's a red zone, so it's not going to have super class characters, except maybe, you know, like a Goku or something, or not Goku, like Bardock or something. But otherwise, the rest will probably be their own blue zone event, right? But we could see, you know, bosses like Hachiak here. We could see bosses like Toa from Xenoverse right here. Super Saiyan 3 Broly could be the final boss, right? Since he is a Super Saiyan 3, it would totally fit the celebration, actually. We can see things like Masked Saiyan as a boss character. Things like Chilled could be an early boss character, as well as maybe like the Dragon. I doubt they would go with the Dragon Ball Fuchsias, but like Android 21 could be a boss character as well. Mira could be a boss character. Demigra, right? There's options to run. If they really wanted to make this work. And I think it's a good idea. Otherwise, we could be getting maybe a stage similar to like the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will. I'm hoping that it's not one of those, you know, quick and easy challenge stages that they threw out there during like the 21 celebration. While fun, you know, obviously we want a little more challenge. And Global needs a little something to hold us over while we wait for the new difficulty challenge events that come with the 9th anniversary. So realistically, I do think the announcement of this event is simply referring to the Super Easy A, but we'll see when that time comes. So now, when is that time coming though? So March 14th at 5 p.m. PST is when this announcement should be made, and that's in just a few days. But if you wanted to know exactly when, we got you covered here. So on March 14th at 1700, right? That is, let's fix this up, right? 1700 PST is when it will be dropping. So if we take a look at our handy dandy time zone converter here, we can see that we have a 2 p.m. drop time for me over here in Honolulu. Now, this is unfortunate because the 14th is a Thursday, I believe, which means it'll be unlikely that I end up being able to cover this when it drops, as I'll be at work. However, it'll be at 2 p.m. I'll be sure to tweet out what I can when I can, for sure. Now, for those of you guys over there in Mountain Time, you can expect this Dokkan Now to go live at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. For my friends over there in Central Time, you guys are looking at a 7 p.m. drop time for this Dokkan Now Volume 8. My friends over there in the East Coast, New York to Florida, you guys are looking at 8 p.m. for the announcement time. So honestly, not a bad time frame for the announcements for most people, as most of you guys are going to be at home. For our friends across the pond in Australia, Australian Eastern Time, you're looking at 11 a.m. on Friday, March 15th for the drop time of this Dokkan Now. We got a few of you I'm always chatting with on Eastern European Time. You guys are looking at a 2 a.m. drop time. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry about that. That is a really early time for the announcements. Make sure you tune in the mornings to catch that announcement when it comes. For my friends over there in the United Kingdom, you guys are looking at midnight for your drop time. Germany and France, you guys are looking at 1 a.m. on Friday, March 15th for the announcement for the Dokkan Saiyan Day character. A couple of you guys over in India, you'll be looking at 5:30 a.m. on Friday, March 15th. In Dubai, we've got 4 a.m. And of course, I wanted to throw a random country in there, Vanuatu. If any of you are out there watching from Vanuatu, you're looking at an 11 a.m. on Friday, March 15th. So around the same time as our friends over there in Australia. As always with our time zone converter, it's actually a very, very easy tool to use. Simply add whatever known time you have. So ours is 5 p.m. PST, and then add whatever city you want to add. Where are you located? And you'll be able to figure out exactly what your time is. So if you are, for example, a friend of ours over in the Philippines, you are looking at 8 a.m. for the drop time for the Dokkan Now Volume 8, where they will announce the SAIYAN Day character. Very easy tool to use. Now, unlike you know, when we release a new character, we're not going to have the exact time of that because there's no data for it. However, once they send out the YouTube link, we'll be able to click on that and we can see how many hours until the event goes live. However, they may not do that in this instance because it seems like it'll be a pre-recorded, not an actual live recording. So just keep that in mind. So guys, that is it for our video. That is what you can expect from the upcoming Dokkan Now, as well as when it should be dropping in your local time zone, so you can tune in on Thursday, March 14th at 5 p.m. PST. So guys, if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know what time is it dropping for you. And if I missed your country, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to hit you up on the next one when we do our banners win video. And let's throw one last prediction in there. Who are you thinking it might be for SAIYAN Day? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.